Well, we have a couple good ones.
Okay. There was one about the STD. You have that one?
Yeah, the Donovanosis.
Well, okay, that's ruining the surprise, but yes.
How the hell did that ruin a surprise?
Because you're telling everybody what the person had.
Well, like they're gonna know. It is a sexually transmitted.
Maybe I had something lined up when you said Donovanosis to play lime in the coconut or something.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, okay, let's start this all over.
It's okay.
So in Britain, they have a sexually transmitted infection that is it's a flesh-eating bacteria, and I guess they present to the emergency department with some infected wounds, and they do a little scrape and find this crazy thing called.
Yeah, I actually don't have anything lined up.
Donovanosis.
I was just saying I could have. Right. And it's
God.
It's grand. That's what I said. I might have had something, but
hellfire.
I'm just effing with you, asshole. Don't worry about it. It's called granuloma inguinale, and the thing is that it's nothing new about it. But
but it sounds horrendous.
I know, and they have been having these clickbait headlines saying flesh-eating sexually transmitted disease. It is not. It is not flesh-eating.
No.
It is. It looks like it is because Dr. Scott talk about what it looks like.
Well, all I can tell you is what it says here. It looks like ulcers, bloody sores,
right,
around on the genitals, and I guess it looks awful and feels probably worse.
Yeah, it's slow-growing open lesions directly on the genitals in both men and women. Now, 1 in 10 people will have ulcers in the area around the genitals and the anus, and even, of course, in the mouth. And they're usually painless at first, which makes some people think they have syphilis because they know that starts as a painless lump. But syphilis will usually start as a chancre, which is a lump that then divides in 2 and then divides in 4 and then divides, further and then disappears eventually. And then you think it's over, but it ain't.
No,
just like Lyme disease. Yeah, it hides for a while and then comes out later and really F's you up. So, but they start as firm raised bumps. We call them nodular lesions, and then they split open into lesions. Now, could you get flesh-eating bacteria from this? You certainly could, if your hygiene is bad, and when these things open up and the right bacteria get in there, it could be a problem. Did you get the 4 types of Donovanosis, Dr. Scott? I didn't know if you had that in that.
No, I did not.
So there's 4 types. One is ulcerogranulomatosis. This is the most common. They're beefy red in appearance. I hate it when they use food analogies to talk about these things. I remember, this abscess is about the size of a tangerine. Well, that was the end of my eating tangerines for a while. So please, journalists, don't use food analogies. But anyway, beefy red in appearance, and it gets grainier, and then lots of tiny blood vessels, and then they usually don't hurt, but they bleed easily. And then there's the hypertrophic ones, and these look uneven, and they're usually completely dry, but they look more like warts, but they're not. And then there's the necrotic ones that grow deeper into the skin, and then there are these ones that are fibrous that looks like scar tissue. So,
I just looked it up.
Yeah, okay. Oh, you got a picture of it?
Oh, it looks horrible.
Yeah, it's horrible. Yeah, Google image that one.
Yeah, that can't feel good.
Yeah, just Donovanosis. And then the bacteria Klebsiella granulomatosis infects this area, and that's what causes it, so it is a bacterium. And Klebsiella is a shitty one. It causes blood infections and urinary tract infections in people that are susceptible to it. Anyway, all right. That's a good one, Dr. Scott. I'll give you one of these.
Give yourself a bill.
All right, what else you got? Oh, and what did they talk about the treatment in that one?
Yeah, amputation.
Shit.
I think if I had a penis and it looked like that, I'd probably want to cut it off.
Yeah, but if you take a Z-Pack, it'll get better. That's the great thing.
All right,
Azithromycin cures everything.
Azithromycin. You want to do the
You do whatever
the
you
flu
want.
strain being
Ooh, that's a good one.
being or I've
You and
got
I
it.
have talked about that.
Yeah. Actually, that was our a couple of shows back. We tried to prove or shows that there have been a couple good things to come from COVID.
Yeah,
And
this is one of them.
Yeah, and this is one article Dr. Steve found the other day, which was the pandemic may have driven a flu strain into extinction. And they said, don't be too happy just yet because
Really?
it'll take a season or two to come with
Okay.
the final
Yeah, if there's one person
Yeah,
out there
kinda-
infecting somebody with it.
kind of determination. But it looks like influenza B, also known as the Yamagata,
Yeah.
is one of 4 strains regularly included in annual flu shots. But what it looks like is because of the COVID and our social distancing and mask wearing, et cetera, that may be gone away forever.
And one of the things is there's no animal reservoir for this.
Yeah, right. If it has no host, it has no life, which
That's
is
right.
cool.
That's only
Keep it
infects
to yourself.
humans.
Keep it to yourself.
Yamagata lineage of influenza B only. That's right. Only infects humans. And Dr. Scott and I discovered this. I mean, we weren't the discoverers of it, but we discovered it for ourselves.
We
And
hypothesized.
Yeah, when we were calculating why we weren't seeing flu cases, and we calculated in the beginning of the pandemic what the infectability of COVID-19 was, and one person can infect 2.4 people with the old school, COVID. Now it's up to between 5 and 9 with this Delta variant, which is what you and I got.
Mm-hmm.
But at 2.4 people, well, it turns out influenza, we looked it up, it's like 1.2. It's half of COVID-19. Well, when we have an influenza pandemic, at least in the most recent days, like 2009, we had one, we didn't do anything.
Right.
But the social distancing and the mask wearing and the washing of our hands and all the things that we did to modify the course of the COVID-19 pandemic just totally destroyed this influenza B strain. And good.
Yeah. So be
Everything
so long.
that infects humans, viruses can kiss my ass. They don't do anything good. Can you think of one good thing? Well, I mean, we came up with some maybe good things that came from the pandemic, but the viruses themselves, they infect other people and multiply to what? To what end? They're not trying to go to outer space or learn about new dimensions so that we can get the hell out of this universe when it finally, goes to heat death. All of those things. They're not doing anything. They're not creating art. Screw them.
Be gone.
Death to all pathogenic viruses. And I had somebody email me, well, you don't want to do that because some viruses are good. And it's like, okay, well, show me. And there have been some mutations. There is viral DNA in our species DNA, so they probably had something to do with some mutations that happened to us. Maybe they were good. Maybe they were bad. Maybe we'd be super geniuses now if it wasn't for the dumbass viral DNA in our DNA. But so I even say that it was. That's not what I'm talking about. Influenza, what good does it do? COVID
None.
or any of the coronaviruses just decrease productivity. And you know what? These effing viruses, all coronaviruses, even the quote-unquote good ones that cause common colds, they still kill people.
Yeah.
Kill about 10,000 a year is what's estimated. It might be higher than that. But we never tested for them before. No. It was just it was some viral pneumonia killed them and nothing we can do about it. This is some bullshit. Mm-hmm. War on all viruses. We got rid of, this is 2 down, Dr. Scott.
Mm-hmm.
Smallpox and influenza B Yamagata strain. That's 2 down, about a jillion more to go, but we need to get rid of them.
Start slow, Dr. Steve.
Do you think the Star Trek universe, do you think they have viruses that attack humans in that thing? We all want to live in Star Trek.
That'd be fun.
It's cool. Go to Mars because Mars is cool. All right. Enough with my soapbox, but it just pisses me off, these viruses.
Fuck COVID.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, well, you're really sticking your neck out like I am. Ooh, he's really taking a stance.
He's good. I like it.
So, am I going to have to get you an Uber? Are you okay over there?
I got kids.
What number is that?
4.
4.
Jesus.
At least somebody's